What is up, YouTube? It is A&D Anime Reactions.
Yes.
And I'm Daquan, I think.
Yes, you are, and I'm Alexander.
Awesome. And we're watching Windbreaker Season 2, Episode 3.
Yes.
Cool. So we finally finished the Kyo arc on the last episode. A little bit faster than expected. Well, as faster than Alexander expected. He was expecting to be the new big bad. I thought it was going to get resolved pretty quickly. It seemed like something was going to be resolved pretty quickly. Who knows? It could come back. He would not be upset because he likes their jackets and their hoods.
It is the drip.
But I thought it was a really, really, really great episode. We got a chance to get into some really good conversation about being kind versus being nice. We got a chance to have some really good conversations in terms of the idea of humans being able to change. So if you haven't seen us react to the episode, go back and watch it. I'll probably tag it up here in one of the cards. But yeah, so I thought it was a really, really well done episode. It's the classic shonen, you punch the problems so they go away, but also still allowing you to have some deeper conversations and some really cool character development. We see Sakura grow as a leader, take information from his superior, his higher up, take that to heart and actually apply it in the active chaos and the active problem he's trying to solve right now. And we see his superior also kind of showcase the same type of lessons he's trying to teach Sakura, but with himself as well, showing that he can show restraint, showing that he can change, showing that he has control and he has the, realistically, the characteristics to lead, which is why he's in charge of Sakura and his crew. So I thought it was an all-around just really good episode, really nice bow tied around that little kerfuffle. For as much as you can see where you just have a lot of hands being thrown, but you can still see like a nice fine story being woven as well, even though you have just a lot of fight scenes. So I think it's great. I've been enjoying it so far.
I'm going to add one comment to that, which I forgot about. You kind of see when the Lollipop guy is talking about his beastly rage and everything, that you see a flashback of the War King of his back. So it suggests that he was the one who sort of gave him the ability to hold himself back and feel human. So that implies like this is almost like a generational thing where like he was in a situation where Sakura is right now, and he was kind of, I wouldn't say tamed, but given the tools to control himself. And now he's passing this down to Sakura. And I just think it's a really cool idea that maybe at the end of the series, when let's say Sakura is the second year or even the third year, we might see him doing the process to the next stage of like the next person and the next person. And it'd be cool like if there is like almost this chain of like responsibility that's been woven in, and slowly like having the delinquents become better people through it. And you already see it happening just from the how Bofreen works. Bofreen is barely a delinquent group anymore. It's more just people that know violence is a tool to use, which makes it sound very much like mafia, like or yakuza. But it isn't. So they are still delinquents, but it's like they're kind of the best form of delinquents that they can be, and it might be interesting to see if they can get even better by the end of the series.
And realistically, they're not, I don't even think delinquents is the right word. I think if this is what people think about what gang culture is supposed to be, when people talk about the old days in the 70s and 60s, when they talk about early gangs forming, like especially West Coast, like the Bloods and the Crips were supposed to have been the people looking out for their own community and trying to protect them from corrupt cops and things like that. And so they were really looking out for their own community, where it eventually turned into something where people got a lot of illicit things involved and started selling and destroying their communities versus like upholding it and protecting it.
I'm just saying this specifically is very much coded as Japanese delinquent culture.
Yeah.
So this is what it looks like in Japan. That is the aesthetic of delinquents in Japan. So that's why, and also.
That's true, but I guess the reason why I see it is because none of these kids came from like jacking people, doing different things, and beating up people. Like for example, I can see the Keel group, for example, truly being delinquents. But the people who go to the Bofreen specifically, they may be rough and like rambunctious and want to fight, but they don't seem like they're going around just destroying people's stuff and like antagonizing people.
Okay, so
which seems to be different. So they might be grouped in with delinquents because they are always fighting, but like they're not delinquents going out and just causing trouble because they want to cause trouble.
So they're not really delinquents behavior. They're just more delinquents in the fact that they like to fight, which is realistically not that bad of a thing when it's just done against other delinquent groups.
Yes,
Like,
because those are actually beating up delinquents that people can't deal with, right?
yeah.
So it's almost like vigilantes, right?
They are vigilantes. This isn't illegal, but that does raise the question now, like, what is the actual justice system in the city? Because these Bofreens seem to be the actual justice department despite being children. So does that mean actual, like, there aren't any cops in the city?
We haven't seen it yet.
Because I can just imagine a setting like it being that bad, well,
Well, I can imagine it. Like, I can even see now in current society where things are being reduced, funding is being reduced, people are less on the streets. So it's like, it could be similar in those areas where it's just like, well, we don't have the funding, we don't have the personnel, so we can only do so much. So we're not going to be in these areas as much as possible. Well, as much as necessary.
yeah. Okay. That's cool. Well, not cool, but that's understandable.
Yeah. And that's when people start taking things in their own hands. Like, if you're not going to protect us, we'll protect ourselves.
Yes. With good old-fashioned butt whooping.
Yep. I mean, okay with that. At least they don't try to kill each other. Well, the
They
Bullfrog
are.
doesn't try to kill other people, but other people try to kill them. So,
Regularly. And with excessive force.
yeah. But regardless, I think it's a really good story. It's really fun. I think it's perfectly, well, I'll say it anyway. I'll say it's perfectly machismo type of culture that is like not overly bearing and not like, we were talking about toxic masculinity in the last episode. So I'm like, it's not toxic. It's I don't know. For me, it seems normal in a sense. I think
It's protective masculinity, and that
Yeah.
and maybe in a sensational form, but in a very
Yes.
healthy form.
yes.
Anyway, let's.
Which is also interesting because you don't have the consistent damsel in distress. It's not like oh, this woman is in trouble. They're like also looking out for their buddies. There's also a different type of.
But Kothari was more of, she was just a member, meant to be more representative of like the people of the
Yeah.
town versus.
But I'm saying like typically for each problem, typically you always have the damsel in distress that needs to be saved. But in each of their conflicts, it's not always like a damsel.
Yeah. There's exactly one time, which
So I think it's a different type of conflict that you're, especially in shonen, that you're not usually used to seeing. And I think this right here is a.
I mean, it also goes to show that protective masculinity is for everyone. It's not just
Yeah.
for women.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. So let us start. Oh,
Let me get them situated on the screen.
aw,
Yeah.
cool.
It started when we graduated middle school, the day after the ceremony. Chill out, man. We still have plenty of time.
Come on! Pop it up, boy.
Please, just give it back.
There isn't even anything in here. He's broke. Just our luck.
If I lose it, I'll be in big trouble.
Shut your mouth! I'm sure Mom...
See, that's delinquent culture. Jacking people for their stuff.
Please, I need it.
What a loser.
Back off, you jerks! You think it's fun to gang up on a defenseless kid?
That's not cool! I saw you steal his wand. It's not yours! So give it back! How stupid are you? What a fool! Now you owe us too! What he said! Hand it over, big shot! You guys are being some real douchebags! Huh? And who are you? Hey, what the hell?
Huh. Oh. That's how it is.
So much for helping me. That was scary. Are you okay?
I'm just fine. No worries.
Well, thanks again, mister.
I tried. But I guess I'm not the hero type. This guy, on the other hand, he's the real deal.
Hey,
Got your wish. Get to see the hoodie again. No jackets.
Please. I'm super weak. You saved me.
You're not weak, man. You stood up to that group of guys alone. That takes some real balls. And you didn't even have something to gain.
Shikamaru, shadow control, shadow possession jutsu.
Looking for tough guys like you. You should join our team. I have a feeling you'll fit right in. You'll love it. Just wait.
Is this the place?
Hey! Glad you're here. What's up? I'm Natri, in case you forgot. Welcome.
Thanks. Nice to meet you more officially. Wait, is he the group leader? No wonder he's so strong.
Huh? What did you say to me? I dare you to say it again. You want to ditch after our team has done so much for you?
Ooh.
Is that normal?
I guess the kid must have said that he wants to leave our team.
Huh? You're not gonna let him?
Ooh.
Just as I thought. You've got a good heart. People with strong senses of justice and no real strength are the easiest to control. You're the perfect sucker. And once a sucker,
That's creepy.
they can't get out.
Ooh.
If you couldn't tell, in our crew, violence and fear reign supreme. Well,
Yo, that is diabolical.
Yeah.
30K. You've got 3 days. Great. This time, gonna need 50. This ain't enough. You'll learn. Get us what we need. Or get punched in the face for every 1,000 yen you come up short.
I see. I'm so sorry, Nagato. I was weak and I lost you. If I was strong, I could have dragged you back home. I'm sorry.
No! Even if you had taken out all those guys and magically repaid my debt to Keel, I still wouldn't have gone with you. There's no way I could have. Someone like me doesn't deserve to hang with you. I'm a petty criminal.
What are you?
You're a hero to me. I've always wanted to be like you.
Then do it.
Somebody cool. Somebody strong. I joined the team because I thought it might make me more like you.
God, I'm so invested after the talk.
Well, talk now that I guess. Right now, you got a lot of stuff that just happened. So what's your process and what you're thinking?
He is very much, that Keel leader is very much cultish. Like, he's trying to pick people that seem like marks, and he's dragging them in, and then he's abusing them, and he's using like these. It feels like very cultish, and even if it's more obvious for us immediately, it still feels like being friendly, being personable, identifying someone that seems like they have like very little ability to resist you, who are vulnerable, and then doing it. And then there's of course the whole escalation of like the pain, where every single time he needs to pay more and more money, so it doesn't matter what he does. It's only keep meeting the rising needs or get hurt even more.
Yeah.
It's like, so like you literally are put in this perpetual state of fear where you can't do anything. You just have to keep grinding and slowly getting your soul worn away over and over again. And
Well, he said fear was the
Yeah, I
best way
know.
to rule people.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
it's effective, and also like eventually I think his thing is he wants them to sort of be like just these grunts who just like, listen to everything it says, who even just flinch at just the thought of a punch, and who just like are like these like mindless drones that have been so thoroughly abused that they can't really do anything else. And it makes me think though the majority of these Keel members might also just be victims too.
Because that was the first thing I said when he had a whole bunch of people come in. I was like, they're great recruiters, and now you see why they're great recruiters. He prays in the weak, and then he knows that if he just gets enough numbers, eventually they're more afraid of him than they are of what they have to do, and so he can always convince them to fight on his behalf because of that. And because like in this case where he was getting beat up and he saw this leader beat these other guys, beat 5 guys up, right? So he's like, well, obviously I can beat those 5 guys. He beat those 5 guys by himself, so he's so strong. Imagine what he beat me. And those 5 guys are beating me up. So yeah, so it's interesting because I was thinking about how they're recruiting tactics, and now we understand how they recruit people.
Yeah, straight up called recruiting tactics.
Yeah, I could have went way. It could have went way darker though, because the way he had them close and it gets dark and lock him inside the room, I'm like, that's kind of. I'm like, this could go so many twisted ways, but I'm like, I'm not gonna go there.
I know what you're thinking. I was thinking that too.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's crazy, but now I do understand him more. But then I think also is why. So it's interesting that those people are extending him grace. But because I'm writing because like I think the first thing is immediately to judge them by your standards, right? I know that I'm a very stubborn person. So I'm like, if I saw that, I'm like, you just have to beat me to death. Because I'm like, there's no way you can convince me. I'm like, if I saw you just do that, I'm like, there's no way you're convincing me. I'm like, I may have got beat up by those 5 people, but you just have to beat me up. You have to kill me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not going to use me at this point. You don't have to kill me. But I know that everyone has that same type of level of like, like resistance and stubbornness. And I get that from my mother and my father as well. But
Yeah.
but it is interesting. So it's understandable what he's going through. But it's just wild to see. Absolutely wild to see. It's diabolical. But yeah, but that just shows like how good the storyteller was. He was like, wait, I forgot. I just sucked in. So yeah.
That's what happened. And it happened to Windbreakers.
So yeah. So it's really good. It's interesting to get. I wasn't expecting that backstory.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting.
You're done with this.
Indeed.
And apparently it's masculine hug.
Yeah. Hugs are very masculine.
A brotherly embrace.
I told you that stunt was way too dangerous. Crap, I'm really sorry.
Ooh, bud.
That was he's hurt. I'm fine, I swear. What matters is that nothing bad happened to you guys.
For as long as I've known you, you've been cool and the strongest guy out there.
I'd say cry it out. You'll feel better after. If only we could watch that. Wow, that opening was much later than usual. 8 minutes.
Yep.
Huh.
Hold on.
And as Zenitsu awakens.
He might have been the MVP. He probably had the second years come in.
Yeah.
Another victory in the books, my friend.
That's good. It was looking rough for a second there. I'm glad everybody seems to be okay.
You got it the worst out of all of us, Nere.
Ariel, sorry to slow you down, but I'm good now. I'll walk. You're helping me out with my training.
Eye patch.
Huh?
Whack.
Ellie, hey, just look at the poor guy. Hasn't he gone through enough?
You sadist. He's already the victim here. Let him live.
Apologies. But someone has to scold you for your lack of brain cells back there. Please don't be so reckless.
Right, I'm sorry.
Don't feel bad. If you hadn't contacted the upperclassmen before we went inside, we'd been in big trouble. Nice work.
It was just a text. Hey, wait. Where did Sakura go?
He's behind us.
Sakura!
Guilt.
Glad to see that you're okay.
Worry about yourself.
You're amazing. Think about what you did. You just became the great captain, and you managed to rally everyone together to right a serious wrong. That's an awesome thing. Thank you
That's
for...
enough.
How am I amazing? I got cocky and said I could handle them all myself, but I couldn't do jack. I overthought the whole operation. I was fighting myself. The second years had to come help me pull my head out of my ass. What part of that is amazing? I failed as a captain. You look like you got hit by a bus. And the rest of them aren't looking much better. Everyone got hurt and it's entirely my fault. I know you think it is too. Just say that it's all my fault.
He's not wrong, but he's taking it too hard.
I can understand that, because I think often when you strive to be the best, and like for him, we already know from season 1 where his main goal once he got to Bullring was to be at the top, and now he's coming to grips of what that means, and I think that's showing that his naive thought of just being at the top, like how like you think of Naruto's like I want to be Hokage one day, not knowing what that means. He just wants to be recognized, and I think Sakura went through that same thing where he just wanted to be recognized. And now that he recognizes that it's not just a recognition he wants to be able to really earn that title, really be the person in charge. And because of that, now he's realizing the weight of leadership.
Yeah, and and the fact that he's beating himself up over this shows that he really is a good person for this position, because he isn't. He sees he's wrong and he's letting it eat at him, which to some degree is good, because it means he's letting that weight sit with him and he's trying to justify it. But I think that the important thing that'll happen next is none of them are actually going to blame him. They're going to more say, yes, you made the shot call, but all of us made the choice to come here. It's all our faults together. And then it's also, which is also a responsible thing to say, like, hey, yes, you had the responsibility, but also we had the responsibility to follow you. And there is some shared level of culpability, which I think, at least in this situation, is probably the healthiest way to rationalize the situation. So, and also even just one understanding that, hey, this was his first raid thing. He's allowed to have messed up. He's allowed to need to have help. He obviously cares about this a lot. And then so I think that's, this show consistently is talking about like Sakura's growth as a person, as a leader, and just. And
I guess my chauvinistic side is going to show, and I think that's what most guys, I guess in the past, had to go through, and what many guys now are missing. And I think that's because of the fact that we see that we feel like we need to take a back seat because we have this idea that, oh yeah, everyone's equal, which isn't always entirely true. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, period, no matter who they are. But I think that this entire generation of young people, male or female, are missing this idea of the weight of responsibility, especially now since we have like people going to college afterwards and you have this extended adolescence where like, oh yeah, you're expected to goof off and then mess up until you're like 27, 28, 29, 30. Compared to our previous predecessors where like you're expected to be married, have kids, have a family, have a job by the time you're 23, 24, 25. Now granted, the things that's required of us is exponentially higher. We have to have higher technical skills, higher understanding of things, and because our world is more and more requiring like technology and high tech machinery and stuff like that. So the requirements for us to make our world continue to go is a little bit different. So the demanding is kind of shifting things. But I think the idea of, especially men, taking on responsibility, understanding the weight of leadership instead of just wanting it, I think that's why there's so many men that kind of like pulled into what the red pill is, because they're thinking about that, like it feels like something's missing. They're missing that idea of responsibility. I think a lot of men work better when they have the sense of responsibility, but it's put into a healthy space. And if they're not put into a place where they have to start nurturing the idea of accountability, nurturing the idea of responsibility and the weights that come with it, the fact that people could be depending on you, because like if you're a project manager, people are depending on you, making sure that everyone's doing the right thing. You find any type of issues, can you pinpoint it and actually make sure it moves forward? As a parent, as a like older sibling, any of those different things, people are expecting you to kind of take accountability, especially when things go wrong and you're the person in charge. How do you take that responsibility? You don't see it as a burden, but you take that as like, because right now I don't think Sakura finds his leadership as a burden. I think he's just more frustrated that he's like, man, they're giving this privilege or giving this this opportunity that I really wanted, and I failed at it. And I think sometimes it takes that guilt, which I think he still be feeling guilty, because the person in charge is the person in charge. You never blame the people who are under you. The person who comes where the buck stops at, it stops at the person who's in charge. When you call the shots, unfortunately, even though there is some shared culpability, he was the person in charge.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying from their perspective, they might also feel it.
Yeah, I think that's normal. I think that's true. You're gonna have some shared culpability, but there is a special thing where like that guilt has to kind of fall on the shoulder of the leaders.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that men in this age don't hold. It's easy for them to blame, oh, it's women's fault because they're being promiscuous and they want these people who make $1 million a year. I'm like, but that doesn't mean you have to be fat, lazy, and less ambitious. I'm like, there's some culpability, there's some responsibility for the actions that you took. It's not everyone else's fault. It's not society's fault. It's not women's fault. It's not your parents' fault. It's not the school's fault. We have access to so much information in the world. We have access to these devices, the things that people are watching us on right now, and they can make a decision to change the course of their life. And it comes with that sense of agency, that responsibility where you might not be leading a team, but you start with yourself. Can you take that agency and say, man, I could have done better on that exam. Man, I could have learned how to code sooner. Man, I could have made that first video and put it on YouTube. So I think that's what I'm kind of seeing from here where, yes, I do see the culpability, but I think starting with the idea that like, I can't feel bad because I can't be mad at them for beating me up. I can get mad for putting myself in that situation and not being smart about it. I think the first step is once you learn you have a little bit more agency than what you expect, I think your world opens up a lot more.
So, good points.
You're talking nonsense. If I had gone alone, Nagato would still be stuck with those freaks. I don't care what anyone else thinks. All I feel is gratitude. Thank you, Captain.
If we didn't want to fight, then we wouldn't have touched Bofering with a 10-foot pole. It's our fault we got beat up.
Yeah, true that.
Listen, Sakura, you feel weak, right? I do too.
But that's an internal battle. We fight it ourselves.
We're all weak. Even Sugi is shaking in his boots over what Umame is gonna say.
I know I'm not the strongest ally, but please stop shouldering so much by yourself. We're friends. Friends share the burden.
And that's another point too. I think that I missed because what you were saying that probably is also a good extension. You said well, it would be that shared culpability, which is more healthy. I think another thing is just because you're the leader doesn't mean you have to carry the burden by yourself. I think it's okay to make sure you're delegating, make sure that you're being supported. Just because you're the leader doesn't mean you have to shoulder everything alone. That's the other caveat to that too.
Yeah.
So if you want to make those changes, it requires you to have support from your friends or have like accountability people. Do it. No man is an island. So
Unless you're an island man.
Island boys.
Island fruit from One Piece. And you truly are the island.
Yes. But yeah, so don't have to shoulder everything on your own. I think that's a really good point too.
Yes.
He's spot on, you know. Mirai and I in particular deserve a chunk of the blame. We're your vice captains.
Pink.
We'll all
Just like Sakura.
together.
Yeah.
What is this feeling?
Happiness.
Yes.
Watching those guys get beat up. I feel something in the pit of my stomach. In the past, I never would have had trouble fighting a nobody like that. What is this? What's wrong with me?
Guilt. Compassion. Concern.
The fresh meat needed a good pounding. They're okay. Remember when you first became grade captain? We got into a big throwdown. And Hideki scared the living hell out of all of us. Scared you too, huh?
Yep, told you.
On. What do you guys think of Kyo?
I would say, for a team so new, we don't have any intel on them. They've got a big mob of mugs doing their bidding. Is there something about those goons that's not sitting right with you?
Yeah. I don't buy that all those guys signed up to be on that freak's team. It makes no sense. Something's up.
I mean, he is very much a cult leader aspect, so I would. I think you're underestimating the guy's personality.
I wonder because like we didn't see him inside of the thing when Nagato was telling the story. So I wonder if they walk away by then and they didn't hear what he said about how he got in there.
Possibly. I think he heard it, but I get this is setting up that the kill is a bigger threat than just this. I get that's what it's doing. But I also think they're just counting on just how powerful a cult leader can be on just themselves.
Yeah, because essentially he's using violence to brainwash them, right? That is a very weird music choice, making it sound like a banjo and like country hit.
Apparently, Umamiya's here grabbing a bite to eat. Well, go give him your report, fellas. Make it snappy.
You ought to be a comedian, Ume.
Oh, you think so? Excuse me. Get the man another cola on my tab.
I'm on it.
Hey, welcome to paradise. We're real sorry to bother you during your meal.
It's all good. I was asked to help unload some stuff and it just ended up like this.
How the hell does it end up like this? And that's it. That's the story. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. It was my fault, not his.
Crack a joke.
You guys better pay attention.
Okay, got it. Excellent work.
Hey, are you gentlemen hungry?
Hold on. You're sure? You let us chow down on that feast for free? Thanks, man.
Anything for you kids.
While it's hot!
Wait a second.
It does look good.
Is that it? Or what?
Do you need more?
It's just... I roped Furing into personal business.
You say that. But Nagato is a friend of yours, right? I'd be more worried if Furin didn't help you out.
But I wasted the upperclassmen's time.
It's their job to take care of the little guy.
All that aside... Please no. I'm really sorry.
No guess, huh?
Nagato. Eat.
For real?
Try it.
He's such a warm and nice guy.
Kind.
Yeah. Kind, yeah, right. Follow the theme.
Because he will punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Like this in ages. It's delicious.
Good to hear. Remember that. When you're on edge, you're too anxious to enjoy a meal. But when you can sit down and eat with people you trust, the food tastes better than usual. So keep good company and keep a happy stomach.
Good advice. So advice that's a life less stressful than normal.
People will think whatever they want. You have to choose to move forward. That path is gonna be hard. That's life. So remember how delicious this meal tastes. Let it serve as a reminder you're not alone. Yeah?
He should be dehydrated by the end of this episode.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to enjoy it.
Kaji's crew too? It's starting to seem like fighting makes everyone hungry.
It must.
What's up with you? Why so gloomy?
I'm fine.
In the fight, a lot of our guys got pummeled pretty badly. Because he's our great captain, he feels like it's completely his fault.
Stop acting like it's so deep. I'm just pissed at how I acted back there. I always talk a big game, and I usually have the power to back it up. But this time, my body wouldn't do what I told it to.
Sakura, your body stopped cooperating. After you saw your teammates get beaten up, right? That's natural. And there's a reason for it. Because you care about them. Plain and simple.
Blushing.
I love it. I forgot all those something, just these basic.
They're not emotionally mature. It's like you're used to, you're good at fighting with your hands, but you're not good at dealing with the things you feel on the inside. You don't know why. Because Jerry explained it. He's like, what is this feeling? I don't know what this is.
It's so cute.
Watch the table!
And I think this is more important, especially because guys, we go through this quite a bit.
Watch the table, man!
Jeez, that's gonna leave a nasty bruise.
He's floundering, just help the poor kid!
How do you like us so much?
Is there any way we can get a couple towels in here?
Ashitaba.
Have a good night.
All right, Ume, great leadership.
Yep.
Hey, Iriki. That feeling Sakura mentioned. What do you think about it?
Same as you, I guess.
He's gonna get real strong.
In a natural way.
Yep.
By feeling stuff.
I've got freshly fried cutlets for you. Come back and give them a taste.
Oh, are you kidding? Feed me more! Were you not full?
It's a grown boy.
Nagato!
Now slap him.
She probably will.
Come
Hug him
on.
and then slap him.
Punch. We both lost.
Yes.
Calm down. He's
You guys
fine.
are dumber than I thought! You look awful. It could have been worse. No more.
Much more crying in the show than I expected, especially in one episode.
Sorry, but I don't think I asked you your name.
Sakura.
Sakura. I have something to say.
Thank you.
You saved him. Thank you.
Whatever, man. I was just keeping a promise.
Oh, restart. Oh, that's how it ended.
It looks like some stuff after the
Sure.
credits.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Oh,
He's still laid out.
yep.
Sheesh. He slept good.
When I heard Fury was pulling up to the hideout, I knew I had to see for myself. What an upset. I didn't think you would go down so easy. That said, Furine boys were a lot weaker than I expected.
What?
Yeah, I guess they did say they were first years. Not that it matters. He's totally going to snap. I hoped Keel could hang on a bit longer, but it racked up some serious numbers. Too bad. This sadistic moron of a leader rotted the team from the inside out. I should really be thanking Wolverine for putting him in his place for me. I sure know how to pick him up.
One.
No, on the bright side, at least I have a great card to play against Wolverine now. Look at it like that. This mission was a success. Because the moron really did pull through. Well, Keel, peace out. Thanks for helping me kill some time.
Frank. Huh.
Damn it! I can't believe I just got another magic of friendship speech. The big boss is starting to sound like a broken record.
If he's wrong, why are you blushing?
Trying my will always be an open book. Come on! That's fooling! You know it!
So you don't like us?
Too bad. I thought we were finally making progress with you.
Company's icy exterior.
Hey! Not even puppy dog eyes can pull mushy crap like that out of me!
He is such a good boy.
Yeah, he's growing. Once he becomes comfortable with his emotions, he's gonna get there. I don't think we'll ever see it inside the show. I think the only thing that's gonna kind of pull him into that is probably if he gets a good woman. But all this right here setting up the foundation for him to be able to do that. Because you saw how he was when he first met
Kotri.
Kotri, and he couldn't even look her in the eye.
Yeah.
And so now, like, I think that was the catalyst. And so now all these things he's having with his boys now is really molding him into.
I like how he keeps thinking back to her speech repeatedly. Like Lucas and I was like,
Yeah, you can tell that's like his. That's the.
that's his like his. It's not the.
It says the foundation for
Yeah.
Wizard Part. It's like the canon event.
Yeah.
That kind of really like puts him into the point
Yeah,
where
it's
he's
like
now.
it's the trigger that starts his transformation. So it goes to show that sometimes just it has to be a couple words.
Yep. Power words. People always say sticks and stones and break my bones, but words may never hurt me. Words create a lot of power.
Yeah.
So.
Or it's gonna say all the kind of things and the dumb things, mostly the dumb things, usually the smart things, but sometimes, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a really great episode. Considering that it was the least action-packed episode, besides the abuse part right before the opening, the cult-like actions. That was a really good episode.
I wonder if the tattoos mean the guy's Yakuza.
I don't think that's a far-fetched idea, considering that he's the only person. We haven't seen any other delinquents with tattoos. Lots of them with piercings, but none with tattoos.
It makes sense that the next level after delinquents would be Yakuza, because
Yeah.
actual adult. Imagine they have to fight actual adults. No.
Yeah, well, I guess it's not too far-fetched. Like, in reality, well, a 14-year-old versus an 18-year-old is still very different. When I see an 18-year-old can really best an adult in many cases. An 18-year-old can do some damage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, high school students fighting like adults in that case is not that far-fetched.
And they pull the guns.
Yeah, but I don't really think of, when I think of Japan in general, I don't think of them as carrying guns and often.
The Yakuza?
Yeah.
I thought the Yakuza had guns.
I imagine they do, but I don't imagine like maybe the low-level people do. Considering that, like, people I hear who go and visit Tokyo and stuff, they see the police officers out and about, they don't even wear guns.
Huh.
So, I imagine if the police officers aren't walking around with guns and are armed, that's probably not the necessity for many of the Yakuza.
Interesting. That could be.
But as we well know, until we actually go.
Yeah.
We need to go to Japan.
One day. Assuming we can still leave the country.
I think the American passport still has a lot more power than we think it does.
Yeah.
And the fact that leadership is always temporary, it's transitional.
Yeah.
Things change, things come, things go.
Yes.
But yeah, but I think that was a great way to wrap up the night. I think that's a feel-good moment for the show to kind of wrap up something that's quite crazy. So I'm happy with it.
So am I. Glad I keep gunning. Not boring.
We've been working all day, so.
No, one day.
But yeah, but if you guys like what we do here, like, comment, subscribe. Trust me, we love hearing your input, hearing your ideas. If you want to support us anymore, our Patreon link is down below. That'll give you access to our Discord, so that when we actually do these recording sessions, that will pop up into the Discord and have some live interactions, so we can hear you guys talk to us and give feedback, and also pop some ideas. We can shoot some stuff, not shoot some stuff, but like talk back and forth.
I mean, we can shoot some stuff. Shoot some shit. Shoot the reeds.
Yes, those expressions. But yeah, so I think we love hanging out with you guys. We love watching TV with you guys. Hopefully you got some value from our conversation. Some of the tangents. I think some of the things that this show us broaching and not in a very verbal way is actually really good, especially because like I think a lot of young men in society now are looking for direction, looking for information, looking for that level of maturity and like growth, and they're going to all the wrong places. I think some of these things are giving some really good lessons, and Nuggets kind of talk about those things in a healthy way to help them mature and kind of get to the next level and not feel completely insecure and feel, I guess, stressed and just not good enough. I think we all have to know that there's levels and growth of things. There's some weaknesses we may have, and we don't have to do this alone. We're all growing. We're all trying to get to those places we want to get to.
I will say one more attention on that. Oftentimes, the rec book community is very focused around on betting women and getting women. So the fact that this is doing it almost in absence of women, just showing just how like you can be that person without necessarily falling back to that is a good representation of what masculinity, of what being a man can do. So like, it's not that you can evolve like the fairer sex with masculinity, but it isn't contingent on that. It isn't contingent on devaluing them. And I think seeing this example of just when their absence isn't even an absence, it isn't irrelevant right now.
It's not relevant. It's showing whether or not are you dependable, are you accountable, do you care about the people that you're impacting, do you think about the consequences of your actions, all things that are important. Yes, some of those things are going to be transferable to both sexes, but I think especially the way that we process it and deal with it are going to be distinctly different. And so seeing this being built and kind of approached in a very masculine way, how guys would typically see the world and engage with the world, I think is a really interesting and good critique. It's turned out to be much more to talk about than what we thought we was going to talk about. Well, it's going to be a beat 'em up show, but here we go talking to
I'm significantly surprised. I was just surprised at how good the show was to begin with. Like how I'm texting you immediately. The show is so heartwarming.
Yeah.
Because I came in thinking this is a delinquent show, the delinquent genre show. We can argue that these
You're
are
thinking
real
some Tokyo Revengers type stuff.
That's more where I was.
But I said describe why you dropped it before, and I was like, I was pretty sure I
didn't
mentioned
drop it. I just got busy.
Oh, okay.
Because I never didn't like the show. It was just I don't binge things unless I have a particular reason to do so. So, but it was definitely a lot of fun.
Well, thanks guys for getting him to watch this, because now he has a heartwarming and new something to kind of appreciate. So thanks to you guys.
Yes, thanks to you.
But yeah, so that's really it. Hopefully this right here was something that kind of uplifted you, kind of inspired you. So go for your next goal. Don't be afraid. Get the support if you need it. And we will see you next time. Later.
Well,